Hello, Align fam, and welcome to another solo series where I'm going to discuss a topic that a lot of you have been asking me about. And this topic that we're going to discuss today serves as a foundation for my coaching clients. And then I customize everyone's journey to eventually help them get to where they want to be, how they want to feel, what they want to achieve. But this foundation, I feel, has been helpful not just to my coaching clients, but people who just want to start, want a good base when it comes to, and the topic of the day is, what are the lessons learned from our younger selves? I think a lot of times people always say like, oh, what would I tell my younger self? As in, what advice would I give my younger self? Because we didn't know better then, right? Or regrets and whatnot. But I actually want to flip that and say, actually, when we were young, we were we were much more in tune with our gut and our intuition, and we just followed what felt right. And I think there's a lot of things that we can learn from our younger selves that over time, whether it be society, parents, other people's opinions, kind of seep in to telling us what we should be, what we should think, what we should do, that we lose that sparkle and we lose that childlike wonder. And so today I want to cover 4 areas that I encourage my clients and I encourage people to really not lose, and challenge you to bring these 4 areas back into your adult life because it's productive, because it's going to give you meaning, because it's going to make life more enjoyable and fun. So here are the 4 areas I want to discuss today, or lessons learned from our younger self. First is having bold self-expression. Second is rebellion, the benefits of rebellion. Third is experimenting. And lastly is excitement and play. So let's kind of dive in on bold expression, right? When we were, growing up, in our, whether it be kind of like our teenage years, right? We started to kind of figure out what groups we were part of, how we want to express ourselves. We all had kind of phases, for example. And no matter if our parents or grandparents or other social cliques and groups said about us, more often than not, we kind of stuck to our guns. We're like, well, this is who I am. This is what I identify in. This is the bold expression, right? And when our parents or teachers and whatnot, are overprotective or try to limit our self-expression, we actually feel very suffocated. And we feel like we're not able to, showcase who we really are at that moment when we're going through that phase. So I want you all to think about, what are the things that you don't give yourself permission now to do anymore? Like, you're waiting for permission. You're waiting for people to say, give you approval, or yes, you can do this. What are some things that you need to give yourself permission to do? Because it's a bold self-expression. There's maybe a calling, a passion, or an idea within you that it's a reoccurring thing that comes back. Because the thing about intuition or good ideas is that it doesn't go away. It just gets louder the more you ignore it. So I want you to ask yourself, when it comes to bold self-expression, what are the things that you can give yourself permission to do, or to try, or to experiment, or to go for, that maybe your younger self would have been more bold to say, like, I don't really care what you think. I'm going to try this because within my gut, within my soul, I feel like there's something behind this I need to put out to the world. So I think first is bold self-expression. Secondly is rebellion, right? And I want to talk about the benefits of rebellion. Rebelling is just going against what the norm may be, going against what others may be doing, status quo. Sometimes, as we've seen, the status quo isn't good. It isn't good enough. It's not good at all. And there's a better way of doing things. And we see a lot of teams, corporations, and I'm sure everyone, or someone who's worked a team who said, oh, it's always done that way. If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Or it's always done this way, but like, so many people on the team knows it's not the most productive way, or it's not healthy. It's just like, there's better ways to do it. There's more efficient ways to do it. So I encourage you to look at, where are the ways that rebellion, or applying your creativity, or seeing things differently, or doing things differently, can actually progress you forward, your team forward, your company forward, your family forward. What are the things that you can rebel in the sense that it creates a better environment for other people. It creates a better society for humanity, right? So what are the ways that you can rebel but be progressive about it and helping people move forward? So that's another idea that I want people to sink their teeth into: rebellion, the benefits of rebelling. Third is experimenting. So when we were younger, if we liked something or liked someone, we just run up to it. We wouldn't worry about how we looked, felt, like they thought about it. We would just go for it, right? When you're young, we treated life like an experiment or a lab, and were more fearless about going for things. Oh, I want to draw this painting. Oh, I want to go on this trip. Oh, I want to talk to this person. Oh, we were so much more open to experimenting. But over time, life happens, and there may be not the most desirable things that happen to us, and it closes us. It makes us colder and makes us less heart open, right? So I want you to think about, what are the ways that you can be more open to creative ideas, right? Because if you think back when you're younger, experimenting in a lab or just in life, you can only eventually hit success or your goal by trying and going for it and trying different ways and pivoting until you get there, right? And oftentimes we close up to great opportunities or people because we project our past. So what are some ways that you could be more open-hearted and open to experimenting, right? Like, for example, if you had a horrible deal in South Florida and you're like, we're never going into South Florida again. Does that make sense? Or like, oh, like we bought a horrible company in consumer. We're never doing consumer again. Maybe you can experiment and learn about better ways to cover consumer, better ways that you could cover South Florida, instead of just saying, no, we're never trying again. So I want to encourage you to be more childlike and experiment, be more open-hearted to what you can create in the life, the lab, the life that operates like a lab. And lastly is, I want to talk about the excitement and play. So when we were younger, we were excited over the littlest things. Oh, I get to see my best friend. Oh, we have recess. Oh, we get to go on a school trip. Little things we would get excited about, right? And we also made time for play. And we also made time for joy. And why is it important? The most creative ideas and growth comes when we are joyful, when we're playing, right? When you're stressed out, your body's like in like fight or flight mode or trying to just survive. It's not creative. It's just being like, okay, what's bare bones? What I got to get done, right? So if you want to do things better, you want to be more efficient, being a state of flow and play, and that's where you're going to have the most creative ideas, the most productive ideas. Things are going to propel you forward, right? So I encourage you all to think about ways that you can put in more play, be more excited for life, right? Be more open and say like, hey, never tried this, let me be open to it. Hey, never met this person, I'll be open to it. So what are the ways that you can, have more fun and put in more excitement to your life? So just as a review, 4 areas that we can really learn from our younger self. First one is, make sure I get them right. First one is bold self-expression. Secondly is rebellion. What are the benefits of rebelling? What are the areas that you could rebel that will actually progress humanity? Third is experimenting, treating life like a lab and, creating things and, going for it. And lastly is, how can we inject more excitement and therefore appreciation and play into our lives?